Would you eat poop if it solved your digestive issues? Hey, my name is Nari. I'm a functional gut health registered dietitian, and today we're going to talk a little bit about something called postbiotics and how it could help you solve your digestive issues. But before you decide to click away, and call me crazy, I want to explain a little bit of something to you. What if I told you about the secret to optimal gut health? And it's not just about probiotics or prebiotics, and it's actually something called postbiotics. Buckle up because by the end of this episode, you are going to understand what postbiotics are, why they matter, and no, you don't need to eat poop to get their benefits. Gotcha. You see, fecal microbiota transplants have been a thing in the medical field for years, specifically to treat conditions such as C. diff infections. These transplants are very beneficial because a patient can get or reap the benefits of the host and reintroduce beneficial bacteria. I actually first heard of this about 10, maybe 15 years ago during a conference. During this conference, I was actually supposed to be listening to a different lesson, but I saw the title about eating poops and I said, what is this? And I go in there and then I hear the individual talking about stool transplants. And I thought, ew. And I stayed. I stayed during the whole lesson. And by the end, I realized I missed the actual conference episode or whatever that I was supposed to listen. But I will tell you, I was so fascinated. I stayed and I learned so much. And I will tell you that that is one of the first things that piqued my interest about digestive health and really healing using other people's stool to reintroduce good bacteria. And even then, a side note to this, what they were speaking of was there was an individual healthy weight, no chronic problems. Everything was butterfly and rainbows. And the other individual was actually obese. And what they did is they actually did a stool transplant from the healthy individual to the obese individual. Now, in this study, the obese individual did not make any changes, no diet changes, no physical activity changes. And just with the stool transplant, they started to lose weight. I was like, huh, you got my attention here. Let's see what they have to say. And here we are today. So what's happening that poop is so magical? It's the bacteria and more importantly the compounds that they produce, aka postbiotics. Because remember, microbes, those bacteria, they have a job. Those compounds are very important. Now these compounds are called postbiotics, and where the real magic happens, and no, it's not the poop. Now before we get ahead of ourselves and talk about postbiotics, let's briefly walk through the difference of probiotics, prebiotics, symbiotics, and postbiotics because we want to make sure we're understanding here. Now, postbiotics are the bioactive compound that the gut bacteria creates when they break down food. Think of them as the end product of probiotics activity, aka the real MVPs for your gut health. Examples of these MVPs do include short chain fatty acids like butyrate, but also enzymes and vitamins. You see, these are very important. These are dependent on these little guys. Now, probiotics, they're alive and they are consumed through food. So think of fermented products, yogurt, kefir. These are alive. You consume them through food to put in your gut for them to do their thing. Prebiotics serve as a food for the probiotics. Probiotics are alive, and anything that's alive needs food. So their food is going to be the prebiotics. Prebiotics include fruits, veggies, fiber, which I preach about all the time on my Instagram, which you should know if you are following me on those platforms. Now, there's another product called Synbiotics. I actually learned about this maybe 3, 4 years ago. I'm not too sure. Synbiotics are essentially a probiotic and a prebiotic combined together in a product. Now, I will say that even though they exist to this day, I haven't personally recommended a symbiotic product. I'm not saying there's not a good one out there, but I'm just explaining what a symbiotic is. Now, what are some benefits of taking postbiotics? Let's review a few. The first one is it can help with the gut lining. So it can strengthen and repair the intestinal barrier by reducing the inflammation and can support your immunity. It can enhance immune function and reduce infections. If you find that you're always getting sick or your infections are taking a long time, it could mean your gut needs just a little boost. It can also help with metabolic health. These little things can actually support your body's ability to regulate blood sugars and improve lipid levels. Now, lastly, brain health. Remember, the connection between the gut and the brain is huge. You always want to make sure that you are prioritizing your mental health and you're really focused on your mood and mental clarity. So, how can you benefit off of postbiotics? Well, it's actually fairly simple. You want to make sure that you're actually consuming probiotics via food. And yes, of course, you can supplement with the right probiotic. And now you are eating the probiotics which are alive. So the next step is to consume prebiotics, meaning meet your fiber goal. Make sure that you're consuming enough fiber to feed those probiotics because guess what's going to happen if they don't have enough food? They're going to start to munch on you. Literally, they're going to start to munch on your gut lining, and that can cause other issues like leaky gut. And we are literally talking about healing it, not making it worse. So, you eat the probiotics via food, you consume the prebiotics via food. They work together in your gut to create the postbiotic. Now, you can add a supplement if your case is very intense. I will drop the link through a product called Theana, which is a product, it's a postbiotic. It's the only postbiotic that I know exists and is actually a very solid one. So check out the link, check out the product. If you feel comfy and if you're interested, just go for it. And comment below and let me know what you think about it after trying for about a month. And let me share a secret with you. We're only scratching the surface of what postbiotics can really do for individuals. The truth is, postbiotics are really starting to get more attention and are becoming the focus of cutting edge gut health research. Specifically, how can they treat inflammatory bowel diseases, metabolic disorders, or even depression? Now, with postbiotics, this is something I have in my practice. I encourage for certain individuals to add the postbiotics in addition to focusing, of course, on their lifestyle because diet is always number one. You never want to put all your attention on supplements. No, you have to literally focus on your diet, and the supplements literally are meant to supplement the diet. Now, these postbiotics have been a big game changer for a lot of my clients, but I will say I have had a few clients that have taken the postbiotics via pill and have said, maybe it's just changed the texture of my stool. So I cannot say that if you take them, it's going to just solve all your problems because most likely you're going to have to do a lot of lifestyle changes, and it's just the truth. So, to sum it up, no, you do not have to eat poop to harness the power of postbiotics. Instead, really focus on nourishing your gut with the right foods, the prebiotics, the probiotics to create the postbiotics. Now, if you found this episode helpful or maybe just hilarious or even weird, don't forget to subscribe and share with individuals who are dealing with a lot of digestive disorders and maybe they haven't found answers. This could be their next step. And let me know in the comments, have you heard of postbiotics? Have you tried them? What was your story like? Did it work for you? Did it not work for you? I'd love to know everyone's experience. Every time I create protocols for my clients, it's always based on research and experience working with thousands of individuals. And I'd like to know what you've been going through. So let me know. And if you've been dealing with digestive issues and you feel like there's just nothing's worked, let me know because you may want to think about doing a functional stool test and maybe doing a little addition of a postbiotic. But we'll see. Let me know what questions you have, what comments you have, and drop them below.